Hello friends, and welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Today, y'all, it is the last week of July, and I don't know about you, but one, I am ready for fall, and two, after our travels last week to Spring Meadow Nursery in Michigan and seeing all of the gorgeous shrubs and landscape, I am inspired and I am ready for fall to begin planting en masse. However, we do have another month. We have to get through the month of August. So what we're going to do is I want to share with you those plants that are growing, blooming, and thriving in this crazy weather that we are having with all of the heat and the humidity and the rain, because I think everybody is just having an absolutely kind of a nuts summer as far as the weather goes. Because if a plant is thriving in the nursery pot in July in North Carolina, then you know that it can absolutely handle these conditions when it is in the ground. And the reason I say that, like, first of all, just take a look at these butterfly candies. It is much harder for a shrub to really thrive in a nursery pot in the summer because they have, of course, a limited amount of soil. So when you see these beautiful little lavender Abelias that are just thriving, they have no burn on them. We've got little coconut right here. It is most definitely Buddleia season. The butterfly bushes, whether you go from a petite one to a large one, they love the heat and humidity. This is when they are in their prime. So your butterfly candies, they're going to be in that 2 to 3 foot range. They will have a little bit of a smaller bloom on them, but they are much more prolific. So you have got tons of flowers on them. We are down here kind of early in the morning, so these are still in the shade. But come on, we're going to kind of jump around a little bit because I want to show you these Buddleias that are in the full sun, and I'm not going to get too close because look at all the butterflies, y'all. These Buddleias, of course, are in the sun. These are the Pugster butterfly bushes, and the reason that I'm pointing out that they're in the sun is because your butterflies, they have to have the sun in order to get the energy. And so you've got swallowtails in here, you've got all different kinds of smaller butterflies, you've got bumblebees, you have got honeybees, and they are absolutely loving these butterfly bushes. And so when you are looking to attract the pollinators to your garden, Buddleias are a great way to do it. They love it dry, y'all. Hot and dry is when they thrive. When you plant your butterfly bushes, make sure you plant them a little high so that they don't have a ton of water sitting around the roots during the winter. So the colors that we have here, we've got Pugster Pinker, which is a very nice, intense pink. Then we have got the new Sorbet, which is a lovely kind of light lavender. And you'll notice that it has a bit of kind of the ombre effect. So you get kind of all those different colors on it. So we've got those. And then over here, we've got we've got Pico Punch. This is a new one. It's nice and tight and petite. And it looks like Amethyst is over there as well. Now, so these are going to still be in that like 3x3 size. If you want something a little bit bigger, then come on over here to the Miss series. So we have got Miss Ruby here. Miss Ruby is going to be nice, intense, hot pink. And then there's also Miss Violet that has a massive swallowtail on her right now. We love butterfly bushes because they are thriving this time of year, and we're guaranteed to have flowers every single year because they bloom on new growth. Now, y'all, what else is growing, blooming, and thriving and smelling delicious are the roses. These roses, y'all, these are the ones that we had at bare root. We potted them up as bare root. Jerry had to run to the house because we were missing something, and so while he was gone, I was going around and smelling all of the roses. Oh dear heavens. So that is a stiletto that he is sharing with you right now, kind of in that like really hot pink, almost a red color. So you have got that. And then over here, this is the Romantica Moonlight. Y'all, I wish that there were smell-o-vision, because this rose smells divine. It is that classic rose fragrance, beautiful yellow, but also look at the foliage, y'all. Look at the foliage on this. It has tons of foliage, first of all. Super healthy. Yes, there's a couple little spots where some critters have been chewing on it, but that is fine. Then you have, I think you say this, Tiamo? I'm probably mispronouncing that. But anyway, you get a classic red rose on that one. Smells delicious. I mean, there's so many. So I am thinking of where I'm going to be adding these to my garden. I'm thinking that we're going to have a couple of these at the project up at the mailbox. I promise we're going to do that project, y'all. We were just talking about it. We got to button up a couple of other ones first though. So the roses most definitely are blooming and thriving. Abelias, if you are in the south and you have a hot, humid climate and you're looking for a low growing evergreen shrub that does flower, has a sweet little fragrance, and attracts the pollinators, then Abelias are going to be a great option for you. This is the Radiance Abelia, nice classic green with those cream edges, those pure little white flowers on it. Pollinators love it, especially like your bees, your honeybees, your bumblebees, they love it. And then there's also right here is Kaleidoscope. So maybe you want something a little bit brighter. We have got Kaleidoscope, which is a nice chartreuse green, just beginning to bloom with those classic white flowers. So Abelias, we love them. We add them to our garden all the time. And then the fragrant shrub of the south. Jenny's favorite flowering shrub, of course, are going to be gardenias. So we have got the Diamond Spire right here. Y'all, this is such a cutie patootie because it will be a very upright habit on it. Your Diamond Spire has these really nice dark green glossy leaves that are like, they remind me of like a little bit of a thumbprint, right? So they've got a single flower, but it smells delicious. That classic gardenia fragrance. It is fantastic. Of course, it is covered in buds, so we're just going to keep continuing to have more flowers on this. This is going to be about 4 feet tall, 2 feet wide, and it is hardy in zones 7 to 10. We have Diamond Spire in our hottest spot of our garden on the patio, and they are loving life. Now, if you want more of, if you tend to be like me and maybe you're a little bit of a gardenia snob as far as the bloom, there was one bloom and I'm trying to find it now. Then we have, oh shoot, where did it go? We've got Jubilation right here. They're not, well, it was an old bloom, y'all. Jubilation is going to give you that double bloom. It's going to have a little bit of a smaller, lighter green leaf to it. They are covered in buds, so they're not quite blooming yet here in the nursery pot. And this is going to be a 4x4, a double bloom. Of course, it's still that classic gardenia fragrance. I adore it. So we have got the gardenias here. Also, it is Panicle Hydrangea season. If you didn't know, this is the time of year where your Panicle Hydrangeas are thriving. Here we have from Southern Living, this is going to be the Sweet Starlight. Look at that beautiful, classic, creamy, nice white flower. It is that panicle. You can see that they're still just kind of coming out. And so your Panicle Hydrangeas love the sun. They need a minimum of that 5 to 6 hours of sun in order to get those flowers. Basically, this is going to be a 4x4. Nice, medium size, go right in the middle of your garden, or it could go in the back depending on how you have things set up. Hardy in zones 4 to 8. So the Sweet Starlight is beautiful and absolutely thriving. Thinking of evergreens, so this is the Nightlight Camericiferous. And y'all, I know she is not blooming right now, but when I look at a chartreuse evergreen shrub and it looks like this at the end of July in North Carolina, notice there's no burn, right? This is nice and bright and chartreuse, very healthy. This is a great sign that this will absolutely handle our summers like champions. Sometimes the Camellias, depending on the bloodline of the plant, cannot handle our heat and humidity, and they will burn. Here in the South, it can be quite challenging to get an evergreen shrub that will take this nice chartreuse color and not burn in the sun. So when you can look at this whole row, there's actually 2 rows of the night lights right here. This is magnificent. Now they're going to be a 5 by 5. They are the evergreen, full sun, hardy in zones 5 to 8. But this makes my gardener's heart so happy, and I'm thinking, okay, where can we add more of these? We added some to the berm. Cannot wait for them to get to mature size because, oh dear heavens, they are going to be glorious. So Nightlight's Camellias is a great one, thinking of that year-round evergreen structure. And y'all, they're not pokey. It's not like a cedar. It's not gonna, give you little prickles and go that way. Okay, here's Jubilation. We have 2 crops. I know I wasn't going crazy, y'all. So here is Jubilation in a little bit of a bigger size. Here, come look at this flower. Now this is an older one, so she's turned a little bit yellow. We've got some newer ones in there, but that just gives you an idea of that classic double bloom on there. And then our Encores are beginning to show some of their summer color. Even at the house, the Encores are starting to bloom. So like Autumn Bonfire here, that beautiful, classic, beautiful red, she is going ahead and putting on her summer color. This will be 3 feet tall, 3.5 feet wide, hardy in zones at 6 to 10. That's what we love about these newer azaleas. They bloom 3 times a year. The summer tends to be a little bit of the lesser of the blooms. You get your big flush in the spring and the fall. Lovely. Okay, let's see. What else? Oh, let's look at this because we don't talk about this one nearly enough. We only have, I think there's like 2 here right now. But if you don't have a beauty bush, y'all, this is a beautyberry rather. This is Pearl Glam. And Pearl Glam is such a cool shrub because right now you see it has those little white flowers that the pollinators love, but notice right below where these were the old blooms and they're starting to turn into little berries, very immature berries. It gets its name a beautyberry because in the fall those berries turn the most electric purple. So all along the stem you get these beautiful electric purple flowers, berries on it that is absolutely stunning. All right, so shrubs, y'all, tons of them here that are just growing, blooming, and thriving. Begin thinking of those projects. What do you want to change in your garden? What do you want to do different? I am planning like crazy. One, because 'tis that time of the year, right? So I'm looking at things and I am evaluating and changing things in my brain for next year. One thing that we did, within this first year were these hay racks, and y'all, I love them. We have switched them out, I guess you could call it 2 times in the growing season. We had the spring and then we've had this summer, and they are absolutely thriving. So this is something that we're going to continue doing, of course, but next year we'll do a completely different planting. But these plants are handling the temperatures like champions. We got the Mini Vista Indigo, which is doing great. We've got the white Angelonia. You've got meteor shower. You've got begonias. You've got caladiums in there. They're getting a little overtaken, but these are ones that can handle the heat. And so continuing on, our all of our annuals, both online and at the garden center, are 50% off. You don't need a code. They're just already marked for you, so you can go and add them to your cart or come to the garden center and get them. But I am continuing to add caladiums to pots that need to be refreshed. We keep it simple, sweetie, right? So we're just taking out the spring flowers that we planted, adding the caladiums, and they are just filling out. And then thinking about this, going all the way through to the fall, like your grasses. Grasses are amazing in containers. And honestly, y'all, like this is Skyrocket, a huge, nice, beautiful plant. I would just put, what I like to do is say, if I have a collection of 3 pots, right? So let's say I put the grass in one pot, and then I take my caladium, maybe I take 1 or I take 2 because they're 50% off, put them in another pot, but then I put the pots together so it gives you that, like it's a mixed container arrangement. And then what I would do is either like a salvia or begonias, but the begonias are handling these temperatures like champs, so you can just go ahead and add those. And those will go all the way through November when we have our first freeze. So Coleus would be another amazing one to do. Just get 1 Coleus, put it in a pot. If you have shade, the dragon wing, angel wing begonias are going to be great. Of course, this is the Viking XL, that Creekside Champions. Lovely. Y'all, you can still have a beautiful garden in the summer. Pot of Gold. This is that lantana from Southern Living. Put this in a container. You're still gonna have, like, we got butterflies all over the place right here. So you've got butterflies with your lantanas, with your buddleias, because for some reason it seems that we tend to do a little more butterfly population in the late summer. Pentas would be a great option as well. So just because it is the end of July does not mean that you cannot have a beautiful garden, a thick, lush garden. We may need to do a little revamping, right? A little editing. I have certainly been editing my late summer garden. You have seen me do that because, you know, life happens. You go on vacation, you have a heat dome, you have crazy, excessive, record-breaking temperatures, then you get massive amounts of rain. Sometimes the plants just don't know what to do, and sometimes they just need to be out. So we still want to have those beautiful gardens, so we just revamp. And when you have all the annuals that are 50% off, I mean, my goodness, how can you beat that? So, as always, we hope you have found it fun, informative, and inspirational. Y'all have an amazing day. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.